Welcome to our presentation. We present Contrastive Lift, a 2D to 3D lifting method for 3D object instance segmentation. Consider this video sequence of a static scene. How can we obtain a 3D segmentation of all the objects in the scene? Training 3D instance segmentation models is challenging because of the lack of large-scale annotated datasets. To solve this problem, we propose leveraging powerful 2D segmentation models for 3D segmentation. We introduce a method to lift these 2D segmentations to 3D and fuse them by means of a 3D neural field model to obtain a complete 3D segmentation of the scene. Fusing 2D semantic labels is straightforward because they are generally multi-view consistent. But how can we fuse 2D instance segmentations which are inconsistent across views? Our proposed method relies on a contrastive objective function. To understand this, consider a view of the scene. For any pixel in this view, instead of predicting its instance label, we propose to learn an embedding that represents the object identity of the pixel. To do this, the embeddings of pixels from the same segment are pulled together, and pixel embeddings from distant segments are pushed away using our objective function. Now consider multiple views of that scene. With multi-view consistency in mind, we want the embeddings of corresponding pixels across views to also be the same. To achieve this, we use a 3D neural field representation of the scene to ground these embeddings in 3D. Now let's dive deep into the details of our contrastive lift framework. Our contrastive lift framework consists of a NeurIPS model that is optimized on our input video sequence. The NeurIPS predicts density and color values for points in 3D, which are rendered to obtain pixel colors. Additionally, our NeurIPS also predicts a d-dimensional embedding for any query 3D point, which represents the object identity of that point. These point embeddings are rendered, and the resulting pixel embeddings are optimized using our contrastive loss function. To make the optimization more stable, we add another embedding field, which is a slowly updated version of the original fast field. We propose to apply the contrastive loss across these slow and fast pixel embeddings. We also add a concentration loss, where centroids are computed using the slow field and the fast embeddings are encouraged to cluster around these centroids. To evaluate the scalability of our proposed method, we propose a semi-realistic benchmark called Messy Rooms, which features scenes with up to 500 objects per scene. This benchmark is publicly available. We test our method on ScanNet, HyperSim, and replica datasets. Our method outperforms panoptic lifting, a method from CVPR 2023, in 3D consistent panoptic segmentation performance. If we zoom in into this result, we can see that panoptic lifting confuses two chairs as the same object, while our method can successfully identify them as distinct objects. Even in a complex scene with 25 objects occluding each other, our method can accurately segment them in a view-consistent manner. Here we can see a few difficult areas where our method can generate better segmentations than panoptic lifting. Both the vanilla and slow-fast versions of our method achieve SOTA results with up to 3 points improvement in 3D consistent panoptic segmentation performance. We compare with panoptic lifting on our Messy Rooms dataset and observe that our method scales better with the number of objects in the scene. We compare the simple contrastive loss with our proposed slow-fast version, and we see that the clusters obtained with the slow-fast loss are more concentrated and well separated. We also visualize the heat maps of the distances of the rendered embeddings from each of the learned centroids. Since the clusters were well separated, we can see that the heat maps also form crisp boundaries. Even under heavy occlusion, we can see that the clusters are well separated. In summary, ours is a novel method to lift 2D predictions to 3D for 3D instance segmentation. We do not need to know the number of objects in the scene, and we are more efficient and scalable than Hungarian matching based methods. We propose a new benchmark for evaluating scalable 3D instance segmentation. As a drawback, our method only works on static scenes, and it relies on accurate geometry reconstruction. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you at our poster in NeurIPS.